Welcome back, my computer duders. I hope that your scrotums are soft and pliable. No particular reason, just that scrotum health is very important. I took a long break from Minecraft because I got to that point where I had built everything that I envisioned, and there was just nothing else to do. Whatever goal you set for yourself in Minecraft, once you achieve it, there's just sort of this empty, hollow feeling where you realize that life was meaningless all along, and that games like this are only a way to distract us from that inescapable reality. Anyways, I started to think, what are some other difficult places to colonize in Minecraft? Where can I go and build a cool city? Oh, there's squids now, by the way. How cool is that? Now we finally have some scenery. Where can I go and build a city that will be challenging, that will be a lethal environment, that's difficult to work in, and that will be impressive to have a nice, comfortable, convenient living space where you can, rest easy and live a carefree life, despite the fact that it's built someplace that life should not be possible. The sky is the obvious answer. The problem is there's already a massive radical sky city on this server, and I don't really want to build a second redundant one that's never going to be as good anyways, because they put some serious hard work into that. So what's left? What's left? The end, which I have not reached yet. That would be a cool place to build a city. And the Nether. I already have a small base in the Nether, although base is a strong word. It's really a shitty hovel. Wouldn't it be cool, though, to have big domes in the Nether that ghasts cannot get in through? Although they can't be too big, because then ghasts could spawn inside of them. Some kind of city, some kind of colony, where I could live comfortably in the Nether and not have to worry about ghasts, not have to worry about any of the withers or the fire douchebags, any of that, where I could grow food. Maybe I don't know if that's changed, but it'd be useful too, because having a home base in the Nether that I can spend long periods of time in and not have to keep going back and forth between this realm and the Nether realm would enable me to go and farm blaze rods more effectively. And if I eventually do get to the end, I can use what I've learned building the Nether colony to build an end colony. So it's decided that I'm going to build a fucking city or colony of some kind, like this one, in the Nether, and use that as a sort of launch pad from which to learn what I need to know in order to later colonize the end. That'll give me something to do so I can keep making videos in VR Minecraft, which I want to do because it's one of the few games that runs well in VR even when I'm recording. But I need to fucking prepare for this, because the Nether does not fuck around. The Nether does not fuck around. Last time I went into the Nether unprepared, let me tell you a story. I was building an underwater base, of course, because that's my particular type of autism that afflicts my brain. And this was like one of the dozen I've built so far, like number 3 or something. And I went into the Nether having done it before and feeling really cocky and confident. Like, no, Nether's not. Nether ain't shit. Nether ain't shit. I can just waltz right in, build what I need to build, and it will never pose any serious threat to me. Little did I know that as I was building my dome, before it was complete, I would accidentally piss off a zombie pigman, and I was not really well equipped with armor. I had some armor. I had, I think, like iron and some weapons. He killed me, and I couldn't get my stuff back. Every time I went back to get my stuff, I got killed until I lost all my EXP. And the problem then was that I tried to sneak back in with an invisibility potion, but it wore off before I could get close enough to get all my stuff. So now I had this giant crowd of zombie pigmen who had accumulated through all the prior attempts. All my prior attempts to go get my stuff back had attracted more and more, and so I had this huge crowd of zombie pigmen following me towards the portal. And I didn't think for a minute that all of them would be able to get through the portal, but they fucking got through it. When I emerged into my underwater base, they were right behind me. There was like 12, 13 of them. So I ran like hell, already low on health, without any armor, without any weapons. I think all I had was a haste potion left from which I'd planned to use to raid the Nether to get my stuff back. And I hightailed it the fuck out of there and went through the moon pool and swam to the surface, and they were contained. They had chased me all the way through my own underwater base, which was now their underwater base, to the moon pool, and were just hopping around angrily waiting for me to make the mistake of coming back down and trying to reclaim my base. And it was just their base. That was where they lived from that point on until I I tried going to land and building myself back up until I thought I could take it back. But I soon realized in order to get them to despawn, I had to go really, really far away. Otherwise, they kept coming back and they were just there waiting for me. But yeah, motherfucking zombie pigmen stole my base from me once. And it was probably the most... Like, that was the time when I really got hoisted by my own petard. Whatever the fuck a petard is, I assume it's an ass or an asshole. Some part of the gluteal anatomy. So that's why I don't fuck around with the Nether anymore. I take it completely seriously. I have plenty of food. I'll need some more stone to build shit with. Maybe I have more in the smelter. That's the first thing I should build in the Nether is the smelter. And should I be building my Nether city out of... I don't want to build it out of netherrack because I don't want it to look like it belongs there. I very much want it to be an invader's base visually. I want it to look out of place, like it's come from somewhere else. And is something they can't get rid of. That it's like a foothold for people from this dimension to live in theirs. I may have to do some mining and resource gathering, but I'm going to poke my head through the portal just to see the state of affairs, to see whether I still have a base there or not. Yes, I do. Which was not guaranteed. I've come back to my base before to find it devastated. I don't know how it got that way. Unless it just happened to be that a ghast was fighting with a pigman or something. I don't know. And just fireballed my base. But I've got Wilfred, my trusty golem here, to clear pigmen out of the base should they get inside. This is my humble little piece of shit shack. I have no arrows. And I can already hear a ghast nearby. There's the staircase I built to make it easier to get up to where I need to. And I have the basic beginnings of what I need. I mean, I have all the stuff you would have in a shack if you were just on the run exploring the overworld. I'm going to go add to that staircase, and in the process, use myself as a guinea pig to find out if there's any ghasts within shooting range. This will make it faster. And you want it to be fast when you're running from motherfucking ghasts. They don't give you a chance. They don't warn you. They just come straight the fuck at you and start fireballing you. The Nether has been around for a long time, but it's still nothing to trifle with. There's another bridge I built to make my life a little bit easier. I don't think I've ever done a video just showing me playing the game in a normal day-to-day fashion. I think I've always just shown finished builds. Hopefully this will attract more viewers. I know a lot of my existing viewers only got into my channel because of my Minecraft stuff, and it's probably alienated some of them that I have gone in a different direction since then and now focus on VR games of all kinds, not just Minecraft. And that wasn't my intention. That wasn't what I set out to do, but I can't do the same thing all the time. Oh shit. Fuck! Whoa, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, poison. Man, fuck that guy. Fuck you too. Fuck your fucking skeleton wars. Fuck your calcium. That's right, I said it. Fuck calcium. Fuck calcium. That's the worst thing you can say to a skeleton. It's like their version of Hitler did nothing wrong. This is a really fucking... I've heard people compliment the Vive version and say that it's a better version of VR Minecraft than this, but I've seen it and it doesn't seem that impressive to me. I'm impressed with this. It works really well and it adapts Minecraft in a simple and agreeable way. It feels really natural, like it was always eventually going to be played this way. Which of course it wasn't. It was a fucking browser game. Man, I have a potty mouth tonight. I don't know what's up with me. I think I need to go back and mine. You like my shitty hovel? Should clear some of this stuff out. I usually don't have a chance. Usually I'm being attacked right away. Let me just there we go. And so it looks nice. I'm gonna... Well, how nice can it look? I'm in hell. I'm in hell. How nice can you make hell is what we're going to find out. That's kind of obscene, isn't it? The idea of like building a Walmart and a Starbucks in hell and like water parks and shit. That was like... That's an angle I would like to see in Doom. I'd like to see a Doom sequel where mankind colonizes hell. And like everything else, we take the romance and the mystery out of it by completely dominating it and just doing whatever we want with it through technological force. To where you've got like muzzled demons being ridden around by children like a petting zoo. Just to make it a little bit safer to navigate. That should not look that way. I don't like that. I still don't have any firm plans for how to expand, however. Oh, look at... Oh! How did you get here? My buddies, I don't want you to die, though. How do I protect you and shepherd you inside where you belong? I wish I could... Maybe I can. Come on. Come on. There you go. Come on. And go through the only door. Don't you do something stupid. That never works on me. I don't know why it would work on them. You're in the wrong neighborhood. This is not a good place for you to be. You should get inside. I've already got some colonists that I need to protect, but how do I protect them? They don't do anything I say. Probably they're goners. How did they get here? Did they get here through the portal accidentally? I don't see how. They must have. They must have wandered through the portal and fallen their dumb asses just like that into that pit where they were just hanging out, being like, maybe that guy who built that entire colony that we lived in will come rescue us. Let's completely rely on him to solve all of our problems. There we go. Well, that's what you get, you dumbass. Come here. Can I put a leash on him, or would that be degrading? That'd be racist. I don't know if they're... Are these a different species from me, or are they just really ugly humans? This is not what I want my base to ultimately look like. This is just what I was able to build while being shot at. Let's see, what do I want to build? Let me just expand it a little bit to start with. Like this much. And then after I've done that, just try to grow it outward. Maybe some glass, maybe some windows would be nice. I can't make it too high because I've done that before. I've built large domes in the Nether thinking it would be peachy keen. It was not peachy keen. It was the opposite of peachy keen. There's no fruit I would positively compare it to. A ghast spawned inside the dome just because there was physically enough space for it to, which I didn't know was a thing that could happen. That was a bad day for me. A lot of things went bad in rapid succession after that development. There we go. That's better. That's better. I need some glass. That looks nice. That's at least a somewhat larger home than I had before. This is not how it should be. I should have an even length of walls. Ah! Everything here, this is like Australia. Everything wants to kill me. This is like Utah, actually. It's like a mixture of Australia and Utah. The worst parts of both. Oh no, go the fuck away. I don't want any part of you. I'm just trying to make this look more regular and less like a shack, basically. I will still be cowering inside of a shack. There's no real way to dress that up. But it can at least be a little bit comfier. Do I have... Yes, I have a way to smelt inside there. It's going to be expensive to get smelting up and running. I can never truly be self-sufficient here, can I? Because I would need a source of metals, at least. And I don't think I can actually grow anything here either. And I don't think there's any source of... There's fuel, there's lava. I can get lava here. Let me go back and mine. If I make a shitload of buckets, I can reuse those buckets. Oh, cool. Where the fuck am I now? Ah! Ah! Wasn't that a fine how do you do? Oh, my balls are still vibrating. And not in a happy fun way. Where's... Kids are still into this, apparently. I need to watch what I say. If you're watching this, don't be like me. in any way. Everything I've ever done is a mistake. That's the only valuable information I could impart to like my child if by some terrible accident I were to become the father to some poor little sprog. Is don't ever be like me. Don't just whatever I do the opposite of that, and you'll probably be fine. So maybe I could teach him like lessons about life indirectly. He can just watch me fuck up, and then ooh, hey, this is handy. I'll just help myself to this and leave video evidence behind that I did so. I don't need that. I don't need most of this. Damn, be more useful to me when I try to steal from you, is my advice to you. Why does the portal not take me back to the portal in my sea base? Are you still under here, cat? Yes, you are. Thank goodness. If this little cat died, I don't know what I would do. I'm helpless but to care about cats, even fake ones. Although, are we any more real? Blows your mind, doesn't it? Really activates your almonds. What's the distinction between virtual reality and real reality? After all, if you pee in the game, you pee for real. Hey, that's some nice deep seafloor right there, and it's relatively flat. If it wasn't for this big fuck off massive mesa going all the way up to the surface right in the middle of everything, this wouldn't be too bad to build on. It'd be really close to shore, which I generally don't like because it kind of makes the sea base feel pointless when you build that close to shore, because you can just hop out and then swim like with no boat or anything directly to shore within 2 minutes or 20 seconds. Same thing. Math doesn't count here. You have no power here, math. Look at that. If it just wasn't for that fucking mesa, and I'm not about to spend all the time it would take to manually destroy that either. Maybe I could build something into it. No, I've done enough underwater, though. Haven't I? I've done enough underwater shit. Many times over. I just can't stop myself. It's a sickness. This is the way to play Minecraft, though. If you don't have an Oculus, do what you gotta do to get one. I'm not endorsing any crimes explicitly, but I am implying that you should just get your hands on Oculus. I don't think the sale is still going on. I think the price went back up, but you can still get it for $400 on Amazon. They have some stock that they bought at the discounted price that you can still buy for that price. At least at the time that I made this video. Don't come to me all pissed off because I promised you something. I say a lot of things, baby. There we go. This should come in handy as a fuel source until I can get my hands on some metal. Although I'm like 10 seconds away from being back at my base, I believe. I can just make some buckets and then source my lava from the Nether. And if I just get my lava from the Nether, then I will be energy independent. I can at least be energy independent. I can't be material independent because I want to build it out of materials that I can't get in the Nether. I have to get them from normal realm. That's right, we're imprisoning. We have a detainment camp for refugees down there, if you can see. Art imitates life. I'm not sure if I would call this art, though. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't. Where do I want to go into? Where do I want to enter? That's what he said. Look at him. Look at him contemplatively gazing out into the sea down there. If you could see that one lone Squidward. What's he thinking about? Why have the gods taken me from my home on land and transplanted me down into this horrific artificial cocoon of stone and glass on the ocean floor? Maybe? I miss my wife and children, perhaps? Well, I can bring them down here as well, you know. The more the merrier. That's probably what hamsters think. Like, when they live in a child's room inside of a brightly colored plastic container with all these tubes for them to climb through. Like, what the fuck is any of this? That giant pink alien has imprisoned me in some sort of absurd, clownish. Well, I'm sure, obviously, they don't have thoughts that complex, but just thinking about the subjective experience of being imprisoned by something many times more complex and intelligent than you is kind of terrifying. I can kind of take. Do I need to? Do I need to? I don't think so. I think I can just take some buckets out of this place and it'll be fine. I don't think I necessarily need. I should really save some iron though. I'm going to take some of these buckets with me. At least 8, but I'm going to leave the rest here. And I'm going to take some of these buckets. Maybe some from here as well. There's none in here, of course. Of course not. Why would there be? That should be enough to keep the Nether going. As soon as I can find a safe way to access the lava in the Nether, because I'm way high up in the Nether on the terrain in relation to the sea level of the Nether, which of course is lava. The floor is lava in the Nether, for real. Yes! When did I make all this? No, I did this on purpose. I'm brilliant. This was all forethought. Let's see. I can smelt the stone in the fucking Nether. I don't need to fuck around with that. Let's see, slime balls. I've never been able to self-filter, no matter how hard. Like when I was a kid, no matter how hard my parents tried to stop me from swearing, I just, like the minute I stopped thinking about it, I went back to swearing again. It's not like that I particularly enjoy it. It's just how I communicate and how, like, I have to be explicit about my feelings about things. Then again, I don't really trust people who can make themselves not swear, because then they have the self-control to, like, lie and do a whole bunch of other things with judiciously speaking in certain ways. Man, who'd have thought that a sea base would become my base of operations for building in the Nether? That's not really intuitive at all. That's the way I like to live my life. And I think that everything's gonna be just fine. Where'd I put my table? Over here. I don't know why I did that. Maybe I can use that to grow some stuff. Probably not. Probably that hasn't changed. I don't really want to put a sign up right now. I already have enough signs. Oh, I didn't know I had these. I didn't know I had these. Should I just make a conventional city out of, like, cubic buildings with traditional glass, or should I go for the domes? Sound off in the comments, let me know. That's probably not going to be handy for anything here, for, at least for a while, until I'm glad I stockpiled food here. I had more foresight than I thought. I had more foreskin than I thought. That's the way I like to live my life. I'm going to wait on risking those buckets, because they're extremely valuable, until oh, there's lava right up there. What the fuck am I saying? Oh, but it's the source block is up there, so that's useless to me. I didn't mean to do that. I have to kill it though, don't I? Okay, come at me. Give me. Oh, 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 oh. Fucking. Fuck off! Fuck off! What am I at? Oh, good. Now there's two. That's even better. I hate the Nether. Why did I build here? Why did I build here? Why did I? Because it's challenging. Same reasons humans do anything is because there's strong indications that we shouldn't. And we want to do whatever is we shouldn't do. We're like kids. You tell us we can't do something and we want to do it. Oh, what, the moon is off limits, huh? I'll go and fucking plant a flag there. Well, it's going to be depressing if I grow old and die and there still is no base on the moon or Mars or anything like that. But it's kind of more believable than there ever being one, because we keep hearing talk about sweet lava, about that stuff, but it never materializes because nobody wants to. There's no politician that actually wants to fund it, that wants to make the money available. And it can't happen without a lot of money. It's not cheap. There might be more, okay. If I can get a reliable source of lava, not just one or two squares, but a lot of it. None of these are source blocks, apparently. This is a source block, however, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. Okay, that's good for 256. I can smelt 256 items with that. Once I found out how OP lava is as a fuel, I never really bothered with anything else. I still have wood as a backup fuel source, but I never really need it. There. That'll make things somewhat safer. There we go. Oops, okay, that's not supposed to be that way. Oh, it just disappeared? What the fuck is that? How can you just... How are you going to play me like that? How are you going to do that? How can something just disappear when instead of leaving a block behind? Okay. Make this more a proper building. That's what I'm up to now. Okay. It's as easy as that. I'm still paranoid that any minute now a ghast is going to show up and wreck my shit. That's what has always happened before. I'll be merrily building something, and then a fireball strikes me, and then I'm on fire, running around on fire. Which is the worst way to run around, in my opinion. You can at least not be on fire. That's like the first thing. Here we go. They kind of matches. It kind of matches. Probably there's no point to this, but whatever. Got my mine. But there's not a whole lot to mine in the Nether that's any good for anything. I'm searching for nether wart. If I can find nether wart, then I can start a nether wart farm here, which prevents me from ever having to go into the nether to get any more. Of course, I can also farm it back in the sea base if I make room for that. Okay, I've got fuel. Let's see. Let me just stash this for now. There it is. I'm going to need a real storage room before long. If I'm going to keep doing this. Let's see. What next? What next? I think I'll build another floor onto this thing. Little by little, because if a ghast is going to nail me, it's going to be from above. That's good. It pains me to build such a boring structure, but I really can't be adventurous just yet. Nope. Didn't mean to do that. Did not mean to do that. Here we go. Keep going. Just replacing the ceiling with the floor of the next level above us. Although this portal will still be sticking through, kind of, unless I put a wall there. Which is probably what I'll do. According to that thing I just said. I'm getting more adventurous, and I'm probably going to regret this very shortly. Go away, Pigman. Pigman, please go. Pigman, please go. There we go. Maybe I'll just keep stacking upwards until I can get access to that upper layer up there. Maybe there's good stuff up there. Who knows? Yeah, that'll give me room to build not mirrors, windows. I'll make a better window at some point with the actual flat panes of glass, just not just yet. Not just yet. I might have to put disruptor columns into this room wherever it looks like there's space for gas. But I don't think there's many places. I think this area right here it might be in danger of having a gas spawn. Oh, I have more here. I didn't even realize. So yeah, what was that whole scrotum health talk about? It's just one of those talks you have to have, you know, with your kids at some point. Like to talk about Jesus and the birds and the bees. In fact, if you can roll all those three talks into one like super talk about Jesus' scrotum being attacked by birds and bees, then you've done it. That's like the Holy Grail. All the talks taken care of at one time. see. There we go. Although this should not be here. This shouldn't. What is this? Why is this here? I want a really properly shaped building. I don't want it to be some weird configuration just because I was scared of ghasts. Here we go. Nope. 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 Let me just fucking relocate these a little bit. In fact, I'm going to need room for a auto smelter at some point. I'm not sure what that's going to look like. I'll need a floor that's taller than this for that to fit inside. I believe so. I'll have to go back to the colony and measure the vertical space inside of the module where I put the auto smelter. More windows though first, I think. After I do this. Can I get more of this? I think I had some ore smelting. I did have ore smelting. No, that's not even the right piece. I need a workbench for that. And I happen to have a spare. Or it's the one that I destroyed earlier. Blah. Can't really think straight right now for some reason. That's a better place for it anyway. Staying up all night and playing VR games is slowly killing me. My only complaint is that it's slow. Oh, I hate building squares, but I can always destroy this later. I just need enough room to move all the infrastructure I need for producing things into here, like the auto smelter, like farms, if I can even farm anything, like redstone machinery. If I'm going to make any monster grinders or something like that. And of course, crew quarters, although nobody's ever going to come live here because this server is a ghost town. It will be nice, at any rate, just to have a nicer presence in the Nether where I don't feel like I'm a fugitive, where I don't feel like I'm hiding out like a scared little mouse from horrifying monsters, which I am. But I've gotten it to the point where I've had, in the past, where I've had like luxurious glass tunnels and domes, and there were ghasts right outside, but they were bitches. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't do anything about the invader in their midst because I had built all the domes and tunnels and shit so that I would never have to go outside if I didn't want to. And I had trapdoors set up around the dome perimeter so that if zombie pigmen swarmed me, I could throw a switch and they'd all fall into a kill chamber. Kind of like the trapdoor Mr. Burns uses. There we go. That looks nicer already. Let me just make a window here. That way I have some idea of whether there's something outside ready to kill me or not. At least here, water doesn't rush in every time I destroy a block. There's something to be said for that. Is there anything on this side? Can I build a window over here, or is it pointless? Don't you shoot no fireballs at me. It's like when you're a kid and you think that the other guy can only attack you when you're ready. And you're like, it doesn't count because I wasn't ready. As if that's how war has ever been fucking fought. Waged. I don't know. I'm not a man of significant brain power, so even when I'm doing little things, it takes away all the brain juices that I need to form coherent sentences. And suddenly I just forget English. This is much nicer than it was. I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling really good about this. And the brick texture means that the half block part of this doesn't look too crappy. This is feeling nice and airy and more like a home. Don't you shoot fucking fireballs at me. This place abounds with spoopy men. And if you watch any of my videos, you know I fucking hate spoopy mans. Because they're always popping out at me, and I specifically tell them not to, but then they do anyways. I wonder if I can expand my farm. No, I can't. I can't, actually. That stinks. I better set up my furnaces again. I'm for sure going to need those. Just grab some lava fuel, which I may get some use out of yet. And make a couple more furnaces. I guess I can't do that. I don't have enough cobblestone. As you can see, my sensors are going crazy because I'm in hell. And I'm not the Doom guy, so hell's a really scary place to me. There's some more soul sand over there if I wanted to brave the short trip. It is a short trip. I should be able to do that. I'm going to try to go grab more soul sand to expand the area I can farm in here. No, you know what? When I build a second story, I'll be able to dedicate a whole level to farming. And if I have wood, I don't. If I had wood, I would be able to build a spiral staircase. In fact, I think I'm going to make room for that over here. This is not going to be where the furnaces go. And that's because I need that corner for the spiral staircase. There we go. There we go. This is a shitty base so far, but it's much, much nicer than it was. There's no denying that. Well, I suppose you could. It would be silly, but you could do it. You could do it. There's no law against that. There's a no judgment zone. There we go. That's the beginnings of a spiral staircase that will take me, really, to the second floor of this structure. It's not the prettiest. It looks how I wanted it to. It has windows. Let's take a look from outside. Spoopamans, if you're out here, don't shoot your fucking fireballs at me. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Let's get some soul sand real quick while the coast is clear. I remember the first time I came to the Nether in this map. It was jam-packed with more ghast than I'd ever seen. It was hectic. I had a bow and I was just slaying ghast left and right. I still died, but I killed like 8 fucking ghasts that were in just the starting area. So whoever made this map must have tweaked the settings to make the Nether especially lethal. And the nice thing is though, they have not respawned. So whatever settings they played with made it so that once you clear out an area, it's relatively safe. I'm lucky to be this close to more poison. This close to a Nether fortress, though. This is really easy access to where most of the good loot is, because these walkways connect to, other walkways and connect to the parts of the fortress where you find the good shit, the really good stuff, the fat loot. As oh, thank you. Look, my golem is killing slimes that have gotten into my base somehow. That's what I have him for, and also, physical companionship on those long, dark, lonely nights in the Nether. It looks almost mundane, like the beginning of office blocks. It's like, what are you doing here? You're so out of place, which is exactly what I wanted. Good job, Wilfred. And you'll get a little bit of this for your trouble. That can just stay between us. What happens in the Nether stays in the Nether. I need to go back to the sea base, however, to get more wood for the spiral staircase so I can build the second floor. So far, so good. It could be a lot worse than it has been so far. And where am I? Oh. Oh, good. Nighttime. Perfect. Just how I like it. Is there any wood in here that can save me some time? Yes, there is. I don't like the color of that wood, however. I'm going to go back and get the wood I use. After you've tried this in VR, why would you ever go back to playing it normally? Probably going to piss a lot of people off with that. They'll be like, because they don't have fucking hundreds of dollars to blow on self-pleasuring, you absolute rube. Which is fair. That's a fair observation. And I feel disgusting sometimes because I've spent this much money on a gift for myself instead of people that I love. Although I did buy a friend one because they're disabled and can't really leave their house, and so VR is a major source of relief in their life. This is still how it's done, isn't it? Yes, it is. Only in this version, though, oddly. Oh, I need the axe for that. I've gotten so accustomed to this, though. So I don't know if you've heard, but my entire state of Oregon is not the entire state, but it's fucking on fire. Shit's on fire, dude. Oregon and Washington are both on fire. Some dumbass kids apparently threw firecrackers or a smoke bomb or something, fireworks basically, down a hill on a hiking trail in Eagle Creek, the Eagle Creek Trail, in fact. And there's this woman who reported witnessing all this, and she scolded them and said, "Do you realize you just started a wildfire?" And they're like, "Well, what do you expect us to do about it now?" "I expect you to die," would be my answer. Also, we have a law that limits the amount of damage in terms of dollar figure that parents can be culpable for if their kids cause it. So they're probably only going to be on the line for like $7,500, maybe each parent. I don't know. Which kind of sucks because I mean, nobody's died because of it yet. If they had, then I would say, be a lot more harsh. But we all did stupid things when we were kids. I never burned down a forest, but that's not to say that there aren't things that I've done that we've all done that it's a good idea to forgive, people for. Because kids of this generation are growing up in a world where Nobody ever forgets your fuck-ups that you made when you were young and stupid. It's immortalized on the internet forever. You can't ever escape that. It used to be just a normal part of growing up. You would make mistakes and then they would gradually be forgotten. Not anymore. Let's see. Okay, I need some of those. I need some of those. And I need some of these. I'm going to put these back so I have space for more shit. I don't really need these either. Not anymore. And I think we're good. I think that's everything for now. I have an abundance of all the other shit that I could possibly ask for. Let me just head back to hell, my favorite place to be. So, funny story. I don't know if you'll find this funny. Exactly. I probably shouldn't have said it was a funny story because now you're going to be expecting to laugh. It's one of those things where you laugh because if you didn't laugh, you would cry. I don't know. Maybe this has happened to you. Apparently, it's a common experience. I was at a cafe, and this guy who's super nicely dressed, very professional looking, very well groomed, came up to me and he started talking to me about this exciting business opportunity, which, is a red flag because usually if it's an exciting business opportunity, you have to find them. They don't come to you. And he says, oh, there's this local millionaire who does asset management for all the local businesses, and he's taken me under his wing. It's just a really exciting opportunity, and I'm looking at being financially independent very soon. And I'm like, wow, that sounds really great. It sounds too good to be true, in fact. And the more I asked about it, and I was like, oh, well, this sounds promising, maybe though, because I hadn't heard of this model. This is actually not a pyramid scheme for the first time. Almost always it's a pyramid scheme. In this case, it was something I'd never heard of. It was Atlantic Global Asset Management, which is an asset management scheme, which is basically just a variant on Ponzi scheme. They pay off the prior investors with the money from the new investors, and they don't actually manage anything, and their offices are not where they say they are, and they move around a lot, and all that good stuff. Anyways, when you're dealing with people like this, they don't know. They don't know that it's a scam, and they don't know you very well, so they're not gonna just trust you. Not gonna trust your opinion if you start saying that it's a scam and they're not gonna get rich. They're just gonna get angry at you because you're telling them something that they dearly do not want to be true. And it's easier for them to believe that this new stranger I've met is just a stupid asshole than it is for them to think, hey, maybe I've been fooled. So faced with those two options, most people will always choose to kill the messenger. They'll choose, this guy's just a stupid asshole who doesn't understand what a great opportunity this is, as if believing that can ensure that in fact they will become millionaires when they're not going to. And it's there's gray area because there's ways to make money off of these. It's just that it's very small percentage of people. Like for example, if you Google Mormons Utah multi-level marketing, multi-level marketing is huge in Utah, and part of why is because they all have their fellow churchgoers to spam their advertisements to and to guilt trip into buying their stupid shit. So some of them actually do extremely well, at least for a little while. And that convinces all the others around them that it's legitimate, that it works, and that they should be getting in on it. It's insidious like that. They'll say, oh, well, 99% of all business opportunities fail, but that's not true. It's actually something like 30% turn a profit and stick around longer than 7 years, 30% make no profit, they just break even, and 30% fail. They fudge the numbers and they don't expect you to put in the effort to actually go and check it out. Fucking goddamn it, fuck. Come on. They're very slick. They're very slick and they assume that you're not going to look anything up. Which is why they don't tell you the name of the company until the very end. I fucking hate these people. I've never fallen for it personally, but I knew a lot of people in high school and college. They would go around recruiting on campus. And I assume that the management must have been getting kickbacks or something, because otherwise why would they let these people advertise? 1, 2, 3. I think it needs another... It needs to be taller, doesn't it? It's 4 down here, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it's 4 high. Anyways, it's shitty because these are often, cool, worthwhile people you would normally want to get to know. But the minute they find out that you think they're in a scam, they become passive-aggressive and then hostile really soon after that. Because you're not the first person they've heard that from. And they've been coached to believe that everybody who says that is just a stupid asshole who doesn't want them to succeed. And they would rather believe that than believe they were fooled. It's 1,000 times easier, 1,000,000 times easier to fool somebody than to convince them that they have been fooled. Because in order to be convinced of that, they'd have to be convinced that they are not a reliable, that they can't rely on their own reasoning to identify fraud. And most people have a sort of unquestioning confidence in their own ability to figure things out. Myself included, I'm sure. I'm not saying I'm a particularly smart person. You don't have to be, though. It's like how you don't have to be a rocket scientist. A rocket scientist to figure out that if Prince Utumbe from Nigeria emails you, that he's not looking to share his millions of dollars with you. You're not... Fuck off, ghasts. Fuck off. This is what I was talking about. It was all nice and pleasant until the ghasts showed up and started shooting shit at me. That's anti-immigrant violence. I'm the immigrant now. So now I'm pro-immigrant because that's me. Fuck, I'm glad it doesn't break the brick. The brick is strong enough, apparently, but it doesn't bust through it. I can afford to have big windows up here. There's nothing obstructing anything. So I will. I choose to do that. I'm going to need to head back down and get more glass, though. Ah, shit! This is what I hope to overcome. I hope to make it so that there's never any danger again. Whether that makes life better or not is arguable, but that's my goal. Oh yeah, glass. Ow, ow, ow. There you are. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. This is really inconvenient having this. Oh, you broke the glass, you motherfuckers. That's expensive. Cut me a check. Boy, sure I'm glad there's nothing like the FCC for YouTube that I know of. More than 5 people would have to watch my channel for that to be a problem, though. Fuck! That's good enough for the first floor. I need to start putting a ceiling on that. Stone. I can make more of these pieces out of this. Oh, you like that? Did they do anything for you? Me either. I live in terror of my own body. No, that goes here. Ooh, I can use green carpet to simulate grass, because grass will almost for sure not grow here. Then again, I could also bring grassy blocks if I really wanted to force it, and that's what this is about, is forcing things to go the way I want them to. Yeah, boy. Yeah, Boyardee. Chef Boyardee punk. I wonder if that's a genre. Like a world where everything is defined by pasta, canned pasta. And there are punks who are trying to expose the conspiracy to contaminate canned pasta or something. And the chef is like a crime overlord. Please don't make that. Don't listen to don't make my ideas real. That would be a mistake for everybody involved. There we go. This is looking nice so far. I don't know what I even need this extra space for. I just want to steal livable space from the Nether and make it so that I can cavort. I can cavort here and no one can stop me. I'll do it now. Kaloo! Kalay! I'm cavorting so gaily. Yes. And they can't stop me. They can't do shit about that. Because I live indoors, and when you stay indoors all the time, life is 1,000 times better. Is the lesson you should take away from this. No, I have to smelt that. Where are you? Here we go. I should really go back. I don't want to, though. I mean, the whole point of this place is so I don't have to go back so often. This is fucking cool so far, though. I'm really liking it. I can look at Endermen through glass and it doesn't count. Glass is magical in this game. Ghasts cannot see me through glass. Endermen can't see me through glass. As long as you look at shit through glass, you're fine. I could make this entire building out of glass, and as long as it wasn't fireballed while I was building it, I'd be A-okay. That's probably a poor idea, though, strategically. Shouldn't live in houses made out of glass. Can I put a window here? Yes, I can. Then I will. It's nice, a little half piece up here and then the two down here. It's like the height of an actual window in a skyscraper. So I think I said I was going to use this as a dedicated farming space. That's not a bad idea. That will clear up some space down here to move around. And maybe put some more chests. Although I can also have a dedicated floor for chests later. 64, there we go. I ain't trifling with no 7. No, this is not spaced correctly. I want to cover this thing up. This will be nice. I won't have to go to the fortresses to get my nether wart, and I'll have a huge, absurdly huge supply of it. Farming indoors, man, that's the future. Weed growers have known that for a long time. Here, that kind of fits. That's not probably not the most efficient use of space, but it's acceptable. And more importantly, there's no room for ghasts to spawn. Looking good so far. There are a lot of nasty things here. I do not feel good about it. Why did I choose to build it? Oh yeah, challenge. Alright, I think that's enough for one playthrough. What have I accomplished in my life? Not much. What have I accomplished in the game? I've built a second floor. Let me just finish up that ceiling. In fact, I can make a couple. I've expanded my foothold in the Nether. What's my ultimate end game? I think I'm going to try to put some dirt outside and put some grass on it, or some grassy blocks, and manually build some trees just to force the Nether to look like a nicer landscape. It'll still have the red fog. I won't be able to ignore the fact that I'm in hell. But I can make it look like a nice landscape. That's all for now. What do I want for the next floor? Storage. The next floor will be storage, and then I think I will be high enough by then to have a walkway that exits directly onto that hill up there, so to give me easy access to whatever it is that's up there. I've been up there. There's a torch up there, so being able to get up there easily and safely will be very nice instead of having to climb up these fucking rocks. That's all for this time. If I wasn't as funny as I usually am, it's because I'm sleep deprived and I'm hallucinating pretty badly, so I don't really even know for sure if I'm playing Minecraft right now. But there's more to come. Stay tuned to this channel and hit like and subscribe, and I will love you for about 2 minutes and 48 seconds.